Folks, we are back. I am your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to our good friend, D.A. King. Now, we're working with D.A. He did an amazing job the last 2 days, taking us to the third hour. Now, today, because of FYNTV and having to help get equipment together, we're only going to 10 o'clock today. But we are going to talk to D8 about some more segments between 10 and 11 in the future. He did a great job. Thank you very much. If you did not get a chance to watch those, you could go on Voice of Rural America, our YouTube channel. You go to FYN TV, they're on there, or you can go to Voice of Rural America, our YouTube channel. We have a playlist called D.A. King right on there, and you can watch the last 2 days. And D.A., my good friend, you will be smooth one day, and it's coming along. Not this smooth, but smooth, okay? So thank you very much. Bingo, somebody won the prize, okay? And I'm going to put this up, and I'm not doing a long segment, but I wanted to see who's the first to tell me. I said 3 times. 3 times, okay? Give me number 7. I said, who is this? And finally, I got a text. That's Cuomo's worst nightmare. Bingo, you win. You win the prize. I don't know what it is, but bingo, that's Cuomo's worst nightmare. You will not find this story. Number 6, Chris Cuomo. That's would-be brother. It's a Cuomo affair, a.k.a. Fredo. Remember, he was called Fredo, and he freaked out. Very freaked out on the guy. This is Chris Fredo. Chris Cuomo Fredo on CNN. His brother Andrew Cuomo has been accused of sexual harassment by the young lady I just put on the screen. Chris fails even to mention explosive sexual harassment claims against Governor brother Andrew, as so does ABC, CBS, NBC, and MSNBC also joined the cover-up. So remember when you had to believe everybody, Democrats. If you remember when you had to believe anybody, remember Brett Kavanaugh, you had to just believe it. Michael Avenatti comes out there and says Kavanaugh was having gangbangs in college with all these broads, and we got witnesses. Oh, we've got to stop everything and investigate. Send the FBI now, right? But in the case of Andrew, we will just let that slide. So thank you very much to our winner this morning of who is, I think I'll start doing that. Who is this? But go back to number 7, and that would be, I think her name is on there. Her name is Lindsay. Is that Boylan? That is Andrew Cuomo's worst nightmare, according to our viewer. Okay, take that away. Now, I wanted to show you, and I'm not going to go back, because the reason it really bothers me is because I know some lawmakers, not all, but some lawmakers are working very hard down at the Capitol, listening to you on HB 531 and SB 241 at the Georgia State Capitol. And I know so many of you around the nation. I think State Senator Steve Gooch in a meeting a week ago said he has never received more emails and phone calls, and they are national. You're out there calling Georgia lawmakers all across the country. Yes, you're doing it. So they're down there working very hard. Some of them trying to correct the disaster is in Georgia, as President Donald Trump mentioned. And here is the headline from the Hill. Georgia's Secretary of State withholds support for reactionary GOP voting. See, that blew up immediately everywhere. That was yesterday at 7 o'clock last night. 7 o'clock last night. And what happened was Raffensperger, he got a little glimpse of the Fair Fight video. He was like, well, I thought you guys liked me. All right. But Georgia's Secretary of State withholds support for reactionary GOP, all right. And I wanted to show you one more. And from U.S. News and World Report, that was from The Hill. I want to give a shout out to Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Give me number 39, okay? And, I know many of you, there's things that Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says that maybe you agree with, don't agree with, whatever the case may be. But in this, I just sent you that. I'm sorry, Emily, number 39. It's a new picture. But, I guess outside of their office in Congress, people decorate the outside wall. And I guess somebody across from her, a member of Congress across from her, put a unity flag or something like that. So Marjorie Taylor Greene puts up, there are two genders, male and female, trust the science. Okay, that's outside her office door. So she can be a little controversial. That Marjorie Taylor Greene can be a little controversial. There you go. So, another one we want to go over this morning very quickly. Look, I'm going to say this. Let's go over before we get to the sensationalized Liz Cheney CPAC that they're all running today. Let me say this, okay? Number 17, if this was reported different. Now, I am not Kramer and this is not Mad Money. You might call me mad, but this is not Mad Money and I'm not Kramer and I'm not, obviously I'm not Marie Bartiromo, okay? But, and I sure as hell am not Neil Cavuto. But anyhow, this is not Fox Business and, or CNBC or whatever, Business Network and, Kramer and Mad Money. But, all right, folks, let me say this. I know enough about it, and people will laugh and scoff at my level of knowledge here, but I know enough about that I understand the Federal Reserve, which has nothing to do with federal at all. They allow so much money into circulation, all right? Now, they'll pull back cash out of the circulation and inject cash into the circulation, okay? And I know enough about that. And we are dumping more cash into the circulation right now. Now, they won't talk about it. Janet Yellen will not talk about it. And what's the guy's name? The head, Jerome Powell, right? Is that his name? He's the head of I have nothing in front of me. I always say that because I just roll with memory. And Jerome Powell is the chair of the Fed. And Janet Yellen, who used to be chair of the Fed, right, is now Secretary of the Treasury. So, they always make sure the Secretary of Treasury can steal directly straight from the Fed. The Fed can steal from the Treasury, at any time. So, in quantitative easing, so on and so forth. You are still trying to print. They can't print the money fast enough. And this is not a joke. And they can't sell the debt because we finance the debt every time. When you okay, let me say this. You call me dumb. In fact, text me and tell me if I'm even on the right track close. But when you pass a $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, do you realize the CARES Act, the original CARES Act that we passed last year, is not completely spent? That cash has not even gotten down the streets yet. It was like a street sweeper sweeping up cash. That cash is not all out. When they pass one of these behemoths, they have to finance the debt. Okay? They have to sell the debt. They're selling our debt. They're taking your money. They're selling you. And they're going further into debt. And they have to I've always said, the American taxpayer, you are the collateral. I don't know if you get into that, but you are the collateral. And they borrow against you. Yes. Our federal government borrows against you, the taxpayer. You are the collateral. And when they pass these behemoths, they have to, and I'm not joking, they have to sell that. And only as they can sell that debt to the world or whoever's buying our debt, can they then print. And I say jokingly, somebody runs in and says, okay, we got another order for $182 million. And they start printing it out and sending it to different areas. Now that's not exactly, but it's pretty close. It's like a real I've simplified it, I might say. But that's what happens. There's still money sitting that they pass. So when they pass these behemoths, they've got to finance them. Yes, they do. They got to get backing. I mean, you can have a corporation right now and you can have a meeting of your board and you can agree. You can go and agree right now on we're going to pass a $329,000 budget. Okay, we only brought in $182,000 last year. Yeah, and we're going to put $63,000 into a fund, into this line item. You could do that all day long and pass budgets and things, but if it's not there, it's not there. That's what they're doing. Please understand, when we pass a $1.9 trillion package, it's not like not $1.9 trillion is sitting in a bank vault and you run over and take a withdrawal slip for 1.9 and start sending it out. What you're doing is you're approving to sell debt. You're approving to sell another $1.9 trillion of debt to print money that's coming from nowhere that you are the collateral to start shoveling out to the blue states to bail out teachers' pensions, public pensions, to bail out unions, whatever it may be. It's not to help Americans. You get $1,400 check. Okay? So, my concern, and you should look this up, when you see 76% support President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus, now sadly today, we have the highest percentage of young people and people in the United States that have a degree of higher learning. And they don't understand the simple fact that $1.9 trillion is not sitting in a vault. Seriously, I mean, you want to give free college to kids with worthless degrees that do not understand what I just said. Seriously. So when you hear 76% of people support President Biden's $1.9 trillion, folks, hyperinflation is around the corner, and it's possible if you watch and read and look it up. Let me show you this. Number 18. When we dictate how the system works, the free market system, when you start dictating how it works. Now, for me, I don't know. Hang on. Okay? I don't have time to go into this, but I want to be very clear. If you totally and completely, 100% end corporate welfare, okay? If you end corporate welfare, okay, 100%, completely take bogus corporate, super PAC, all the dirty, dark money out of politics, all of it, okay? That's 2. Let's see, corporate welfare, if you end that, okay, completely, all right? And you become a true capitalist society, you will never have to put in place, the government will never have to dictate wages again to the American people. I, for one, do not believe, and if we withdraw this, I do not believe in any minimum wage whatsoever, because they say $15. But I will say this, if we completely became a true capitalist country, people would make, the market would dictate more than $15 an hour for somebody to go to work. $15 an hour, and let me get clear, because this is not an argument. $15 an hour is not what bankrupted this country, paying somebody $15 an hour. Dictating it through the government is what's happening here. I'm serious. If you get complete, so if you pass a $1.9 trillion package, okay, and then another 3-point-something trillion next, right behind that, and we start selling that debt, because we are now. You have not sold all the debt and printed all the money from the CARES Act. There's money in those funds still, or it's there to be approved as fast as they can sell it to get it out, okay? So let me just say, if you get another 1.9 and you add, my thought is, because I said this is not a business network, but interest rates, hyperinflation, you dictate $15 an hour, you keep printing at this rate, you'll make Jimmy Carter look good, I think. And that's a scary thought. There's a possibility you make Jimmy Carter look good. There's absolutely no way with that amount of money in circulation, because the feds, what they do, Bernanke, remember Bernanke from the school of the Great Depression, right? Remember Bernanke? And remember Alan Greenspan? I mean, they would sit there, right or wrong or indifferent, as I would say, and they would do the calculations of how much cash flow was out there, how much they had to pull in, how they had to slow and cool the economy off. I'm just telling you. So, that being said, 1.9, we cannot, all right? Let me show you a couple things here this morning. I think I have it. It said 70%. I don't know if I have any of the data here. I thought I did, but let's see if I have some on that poll that they put out earlier today when they say 70% agree with that, and I take it that I may not. So that being said, where was it at there? I had it here earlier. Number 17. 76% support President Biden's 1.9 trillion. No, they don't, folks. They do not support that. And they say 60% of Republicans, I think the poll says 60% of Republicans support Biden's plan. No. We should not pass another dime of any kind of relief stimulus whatsoever. So that being said, we're going to take one more break because I want to come back. I do want to talk about Liz Cheney, and I want to talk about Jim Jordan and the post office. And I got a couple more stories I want to cover before we close today. Oh, by the way, Khashoggi's back in the news. Take a break.